Do you feel like the fire department gets enough funding?
I think it's a very relative term, whether or not we get enough funding. We certainly have been funded to provide a very high level of service here in the city of Asheville. With additional funding, we could provide additional services. We could provide a higher level of the services we currently provide. But we are funded to provide a very high level of service, and our levels of funding are determined by our elected officials, which is ultimately determined by our community, and what level of fire protection they want to afford.
How does the fire department obtain money needed for equipment?
The majority of our funding comes from the City of Asheville's general fund, which is supported by the tax base. That comes from property tax, and it comes from sales tax, comes from other taxes as well, but the majority is from property tax, and then the other largest portion is from sales tax.
Do you feel like the changes in political makeup of the government affect the funding of the fire department?
As a whole, not significantly. There's of the multiple levels of government. Some elected officials, their constituent base, are more apt to fund grant funding. They're more apt to make changes in the way that citizens are taxed for different services that government provides. And so certainly, whatever the constituents would like for their elected officials to see, based on which elected officials go into office to start making those decisions, certainly it could have an impact or an effect on levels of funding.